And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. What an exciting time, you can't take this smile off my face with regard to the potential return of Steven Gerrard. And in today's live stream we're going to be discussing the latest updates, the big news surrounding Steven Gerrard and the return, as some sources, and you can make that up for what you want or you can take that for what you will, our job is to come together, have stated that a deal is agreed in principle. Yes, we're going to go get it in black and white. We're going to have a little look at the latest with regard to Steven Gerrard, but certainly a lot of excitement in the Rangers fan base at this moment in time. And again, I am absolutely buzzing with the fact. I think this is something that the club have needed for a very long time now. It's just that unity. It feels like we can get all the fans on one side with regard to this appointment, just like that. But let's go have a little look at the latest with regards to Stevie. As always, guys, thank you for 33,000 subscribers. Please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to keep you up to date the whole way through this Steven Gerrard ordeal, or if not, the new managerial ordeal. But let's get into the latest. Let's go over to X and see what's being said. Get involved in the live chat. I want to know your thoughts as well. So yeah, as you can see, guys, this is from one journalist here, and TalkSport are running with the story that a deal has pretty much been agreed. Ben Jacobs says, understand Rangers are now close to a total agreement now. We've Steven Gerrard to return to Ibrox. Gerrard held positive face-to-face talks with the chairman Andrew Kavanagh and vice chairman Parag McGrath in London on Thursday. Obviously today we're on Friday. And Sky Sports News are stating, so whilst that is, it looks like that one, we're going to get to another one from TalkSport in a second. But this is what Sky Sports are saying with regard to the latest on Steven Gerrard, that he's holding further talks today for the new managerial position.
Well, staying in Scotland, and a bit of breaking news concerning Rangers and the managerial situation. They're holding further talks with Steven Gerrard as they search for a new boss. Sky Sports News understands that yesterday's discussions between the former Ibrox manager and the club's US owners were constructive. However, Rangers are also speaking to other candidates. Ex-Sheffield Wednesday boss Danny Röhl among the various options on the club's shortlist. Röhl had been sounded out by Rangers in the summer before the club appointed Russell Martin. Rangers chairman Andrew Kavanagh, vice chairman Parag McGrath and 49ers Enterprises technical director Greta Steinson are holding talks with the candidates in London this week. This all coming after 123 days in the job. Martin was sacked on Sunday after that 1-1 draw at Fulham.
So obviously Sky Sports saying that we're still speaking to other candidates. You've got Ben Jacobs, you've got TalkSport stating that we're close to a total agreement with Steven Gerrard. And then you've got other journalists here as well in a moment, Graham Bailey, who says Steven Gerrard has agreed a deal in principle to return to Rangers following talks with the club's hierarchy. Chairman Andrew Kavanagh, who met Gerrard and presented his plans, wants him to establish a new Ibrox dynasty. So each report's stating a little bit different, but one thing we know is that more talks are happening today, and it does look very, very close. The fact that it's so public and people stating that it's currently ongoing, you do feel as if that Rangers got him as the number one candidate. And in fact, last night betting was suspended on Steven Gerrard joining the football club. But this from this Rangers fan page here. Again, I don't know how credible this is, but sources close to Rangers say the process is ongoing. Sources close to Gerrard say all parties are very close to an agreement. Similar scenario with Bill and Clement, and they were appointed. Your money would be on Steven Gerrard as the next Rangers manager. You got the Rags, the Daily Rag this morning as well, saying Steven Gerrard set to Rangers return as Ibrox move all but agreed after Andrew Kavanagh summit. So this information's coming from somewhere. We've got a lot of reputable journalists, not to say the Daily Rag is credible as such, but they do have some inside sources in terms of the record sport, but a lot of others saying that a deal is agreed in principle. But then, of course, you've got Sky Sports stating that we are interviewing other people. Again, I just think that's not necessarily going to be happening. I do think sort of Steven Gerrard is going to be the man personally. We've also got this as well from Scottish Express. Steven Gerrard set to be announced as Rangers boss as deal, quote unquote, all but agreed. So yeah, it does look as though Stevie is on his way. And this man here keeps on winding us up. Could he be bringing Jermaine Defoe to the football club as well? If you've been following his Instagram over the last couple of days, he really has been teasing us with a potential return as well, Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe, of course, I think he's a coach at Tottenham, or at least in the Tottenham setup. Loves Rangers, speaks so highly of Rangers, and I absolutely love Jermaine. Jermaine is top professional, and actually probably one of my favourite players of all time. It might be crazy considering how many greats we've had grace Ibrox over the years, but my goodness me, I thought it was a touch of class. We needed him when we needed him, and yeah, speaks so highly of this football club afterwards. I was so happy that he managed to get a trophy. I'd love for him to be a part of it, but if you're not on Instagram, he's basically been, he's had his coconut water with the 55 flask. He's been posting Rangers memorabilia all over his stories. He's been obviously spotted in an airport last night in his jersey. Nothing. He's not saying any comments. He's just walking along, sort of vlogging, not saying anything. And this was his latest post this morning, was him getting in a taxi in a suit and tie, where consequently a second round of talks are appearing today. So yeah, I mean, I would love for Jermaine to come back because he gets the club. And I know people don't like the whole, he gets it and gets this and gets that. But he really did get the football club. Was successful at the football club. He's done all his badges. I think it would be a great idea to have a Jermaine Defoe in the coaching setup. Stevie G as the manager. You've got sort of Jermaine there as I don't know what he would be doing, and a coach of some sort in terms of a forward coach, a striking coach. But imagine people being trained by him. All know-hows in the game, big heads in the football, but the pull as well for the club. Steven Gerrard for his new signings, Jermaine Defoe, a striker being trained by Jermaine Defoe on a week-to-week basis. It would be unbelievable as well. But what a guy. You've even got Liverpool sources now as well saying Rangers are reportedly close to a total agreement with Steven Gerrard for a return to Ibrox. And then Team Talk, Rangers now have agreed a return with only small details left to finalise the deal. So again, it does look as though things are moving very, very quickly. And we could certainly be on our way. It's buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. It would be really, really good to see him come. Well, it looks like it's done, doesn't it? It really does. It feels good. This guy has said Rangers have not yet made a final decision in their search for a new manager. And sources at Ibrox again insist that the process is still ongoing. Steven Gerrard held talks to clubs this week, so it's understood further interviews are still to take place. So, conflating opinions. Who's this? Yeah, okay. So conflating opinions from different sources within the sort of Rangers space. But as you can see there, most certainly more talks are happening today. Some are saying a deal has been agreed in principle. And some saying, well, they're still interviewing other candidates. But I just feel, I have a weird gut feeling that I don't think any other candidates are really being taken to. I think it's more about due diligence. You got TalkSport saying Rangers close to agreeing new manager as immediate Russell Martin replacement. So depending on who you take as your real sources, then yeah, it is what it is. But it does look like Steven Gerrard is certainly the firm favourite. It does look like as well that talks have gone well. Talks are going well, very, very well, which means the first sort of hiccup we had in the road, we were hearing about Gerrard's tax purposes, we were hearing about this, we were hearing about that, but it looks like those things are straightened out. We've seen that Rio Ferdinand podcast where he was talking about, well, actually, he's waiting. He was only going to jump in for the right team, firstly. Secondly, when he has a sort of band together of people around him. He spoke a lot about sort of self-reflection, that he's not really a head coach. He's a manager. He's a guy that likes to assemble all the best people in one area and delegate the jobs to make a team good. So he understands what he needs and he understands what he's doing. And it suggests that he probably has those parts and these puzzle pieces together. But with Jermaine Defoe, I don't know if he's just on full-on trolling mode. But the fact that Jermaine Defoe is just cutting about, just doing all this stuff, I don't know. I have a really good feeling about it. I really do. I have a really, really good feeling about this potentially happening. Well, this happening. So, yeah. And you even got Grok here, by the way. What's this in regard to? Yeah, it looks like a new photo from today, showing Steven Gerrard at Ibrox, amid reports of his potential return as Ibrox. Nah, that's not a new photo, is it? Grok said, yes, it looks like a new photo from today, Showing Rangers at Ibrox Amber reports. Is it? Yeah, it's from 2018. Grok's chatting shit. Even Grok. AI you can't even trust in this managerial hunt right now. Yeah, Jermaine's coming. I know Jermaine's coming. He's definitely coming. And the Celtic fans basically saying that they don't care about him coming back. They're not scared. You lot are freaking mental. And I know a lot of Celtic fans do tune into the streams. And and you can carry on to do so. It doesn't bother me that much. I enjoy the banter sometimes. But yeah, you lot are saying that you're not feared of Stevie G coming back to the football club. You guys chat so much bollocks. How can you not say that you're scared of Steven Gerrard coming to the football club? You know, people always look at the whole 1 in 9 the 1 in 9 question all of the time. Everyone's always like, well, he only won 1 trophy in 9 attempts, and he's like, when you compare where Rangers were, sort of financially and on the pitch, off of the pitch, prior to Gerrard coming in 2018, any manager who would have took what we had and won a treble with that team would certainly not be a Rangers football club ever for very long. They would probably be managing Barcelona now with the likes of Jack Alnwick, Cummings. I actually love Comdog, so shout out to Comdog. But Jason Holt, all of these players that were in the team. If he took that with a few signings over a summer and won a treble, you got to always put things into perspective. The first season, we were never going to win all 3 trophies, let alone compete for them. And certainly we really didn't. But what we did see was improvement. And we beat Celtic after our old firm games were literally 5-0 drummings every single time. I remember that 2017-18 season, just constantly seeing us. I think we got beat 5-0 about 3 times, or at least there was letting 5 goals quite a lot of the time. So for any manager to take that from there. But what we did see was improvement, which we've not seen under any other new manager. We've never seen incremental steps and improvement with other managers that we've had. And what Stevie did was got us into the Europa League. You know, he went over to Ufa, if you remember, with 9 men and ended up getting us into the Europa League group stage, which was a hard feat back then, by the way. We had 4 qualifying rounds that summer. And we were competitive in Europe. Yes, whilst we didn't qualify, it was a very, very tight group, but we got some wins on the board and some confidence. And then you've seen that incremental approach. Well, the second season, we were a lot better. I thought the second season was fantastic. And whilst, yes, we did flail away in the league, but we were still missing some parts. He assembled a good team together. We also beat Celtic at Parkhead. And from that moment on, really, after that Parkhead victory, Steven Gerrard had Celtic's number for the rest of time. Every Old Firm game after that, pretty much, we won. Let's be perfectly honest. We were winning every single Old Firm game after that. I don't think he lost one after that one where we beat them at Parkhead. Everyone talks about the final, the League Cup final where we lost. Yeah, granted, we probably should have won. I do believe we should have won. I remember I was really disappointed that day. But at the same time, I always remember there an offside goal from Christopher Julian. I also remember Fraser Forster. Fantastic. That day. And sometimes games are against you, and they're sort of pivotal moments in finals. So whilst people always make that sort of 1 in 9 sort of comparison, I don't look at it that way. Because I don't see that first season ever looking at it and going, well, we should have won a treble that year. There's no chance. There was 0 chance with the team that we had. Second season, it's questionable, but I think we were hard done by in the final in the League Cup. And then the third season, you can't really complain, because when the pressure was on us to go on and win the title to stomp 10 in a row, he came up with the goods. He didn't only just come up with the goods, he went invincible doing so. He won the league without losing a game. We had an impeccable defensive record. And that then led into the next season. Whilst I will hold my hands up, we probably should have done a lot better within the domestic cup competitions in the third season. Yes, we probably did let ourselves down a little bit. But sometimes cup competition games don't go your way. I always remember that St Johnstone game, I think quarter-final at Ibrox. Their goalkeeper scored, didn't they? Right at the end. And I think we lost on a penalty shootout. Penalties, it's a flip of a coin. yeah, we probably should have won, I'm not making any excuses in the third season, but I hate that 1-9 argument. And into the next season, he still continued to beat Celtic. He had Celtic's number, no problem. Beat Celtic beat Celtic from his living room and had a 7 points clear. And then obviously left and went out the door. But we still had a great team. That was his team, and despite us not being backed in the summer months, his team went on to make the Europa League final. Whilst we did fuck it up in the league a little bit, I would say due to sort of manager turbulence as well. You can't really underestimate that side, that what they went on to go and do. So he was responsible for assembling that. And over those sort of 3 or 4 years, you've seen those step-by-step improvements year after year after year. So I'm happy with Steven Gerrard coming in, and especially with the sort of new ownership that's at play here with the new owners, football people, the 49ers being involved. I think that they can go on to do some special things. He's obviously got reassurances. Oh, am I going to be back this time? We've heard the remit coming out from the American owners that they want him to create a dynasty at the football club. So he's obviously got the reassurances that when he gets to the January transfer window, when he gets to the summer transfer window, he's going to be backed. He's going to be able to bring in the players, and hopefully Rangers would have learned from lessons of old, of not backing a manager and what will happen. Lying on your laurels. Now this is what we could see with Steven Gerrard once again coming to the football club. So I'm buzzing with it, really. I am. I mean, it doesn't, the jury's out a little bit. People are always talking about, well, what's he done since then? Well, what's he done since leaving Rangers? Well, he's self-reflected. I think Aston Villa was a tough one, but we've seen other managers go to the Premier League and fail. You look at Ange Postecoglou's dominance with Celtic, and everyone's saying that he's almost up there with Jock Stein, pretty much. Celtic fans compare Ange Postecoglou to Jock Stein in some certain circumstances. Not quite as good as him, but they certainly, say that he's best at manager. And in fact, I see on their social media that they want Ange Postecoglou back in at some point. He stunk the place out in the Premier League. Albeit he did win the Europa League, a reformed Europa League with no Champions League dropouts. It's nothing to compare Rangers getting to the final in 2022. If you look at Spurs, I don't want to take anything away from Spurs, but if you look at their run to the final, I think they had AZ, Galatasaray, Bodo Glimt. AZ, Galatasaray, Bodo Glimt, and a rank rotten Manchester United team in the final. So yeah, he won a Europa League. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of top managers have failed in the Premier League. And I would go on and say that first season where he was at Aston Villa, he actually did really well. He came in at the relegation zone, 17th. Got them out there, got them into the top half of the table, did well. Things fell apart, I think was down to Michael Beale. I think a lot of things with the coaching team fell apart as well. And he's self-reflected since then. He's identified what doesn't work for him, what he is and what he isn't. He knows he's not a head coach, he knows he's a manager. And then people talk about Al Ettifaq. Well, the Saudi Pro League. I mean, why did he fail in the Saudi Pro League? That's what I don't understand. Why did Steven Gerrard fail in the Saudi Pro League? I don't see failure in Steven Gerrard's job at Al Ettifaq. So Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, all of these world-class players. You got Al Ittihad with Benzema, Kante, all of these other players. The four big teams in Saudi, the rich ones, Al Hilali, Al Halal, Al Nassr, Al Ittihad. You were expecting Steven Gerrard's team to go on and win that league. He had them in the position that they were meant to be in. I don't think he failed there. I think he just kind of kept progressing them. As the league evolved and all the other bigger teams spent more money and got better players, he kept Al Ettifaq sort of in that sort of top position, the top half of the table, where they were kind of already there, especially for a sort of buoyant time in the league. But I don't necessarily put down his job at Al Ettifaq as a failure, in my personal opinion. Let's see what happens with Steven Gerrard now. Let's see what happens when he returns back to Ibrox again. But I have a feeling something's going to go good. I think we're all going to come together at this moment in time. I think the fans are so disconnected away from the football club after Russell Martin. Even just after the last few years. I feel like something died with me after the 2022 season with Rangers. In terms of, after that Europa League game, I was out in Seville. Something has not felt the same at Rangers Football Club since then for me. It hasn't felt the same. I haven't felt the same joy in watching us week in and week out since the Europa League final. The day I walked out of that stadium in Seville. It's never felt the same, and we kind of missing something, and I think Steven Gerrard brings that back, that aura, them standards, those values, those traditions, a proper football manager that's going to be able to give us a glimmer of hope and take us back and see that progression within this team. And it's not like the job in 2018. It's more so like the job, I can't compare it to 2018, because 2018, we were on the floor, and people can say we're in a bad position now. We're in a lot healthier position financially than we were back then. We're in Europe. We're already in the Europa League, albeit we've got off to a bad start. We're not that far away. We've got some good players there. People mock the recruitment, and I certainly do think the recruitment's not been that great. But we've got some good players there that we can play around with, and that will get us to January and see what happens. I feel like most people have already wrote off the season anyway. We weren't going to win anything under Russell Martin, so let's just see what happens. I think going into looking to win the title in 2027 could be a thing for us. Let's see. William Holmes says Stevie G will transform this squad. Facts. He will. He will have those standards. And I said it in the last live stream. Players like Hamza Egerman, do you know when he faked this injury not to come on the team to try and push for a move out? That wouldn't have happened under Steven Gerrard. These individuals aren't going to say anything bad about Steven Gerrard. They're not going to play for him. That's just never going to happen, because they don't want their own reputation. You know, who's Russell Martin? I don't care what Russell Martin thinks of me. If someone like Hamza Egerman, he would care what Steven Gerrard thought of him. Ian Den says Martin did not have the dressing room. Fact. AP says Saudi 39 win rate in Saudi is shocking. Okay, but do you watch the Saudi Pro League? I don't, personally, but is Al Ettifaq's remit to be that good of a team? Are they a side that are competing for trophies? Are they the best? Are they even the best? Have they even got the best sort of 5 squads within the league? No. You're looking at teams with Cristiano Ronaldo in there. Sometimes had freaking Neymar in there. You know, his golden signings were Wijnaldum, Dembele, who used to play for Celtic, and Jordan Henderson and Jack Hendry. They were the signings that he got. He didn't have a war chest of, we're just going to be able to splash out and buy whoever the fuck we want. So, yeah, it's easy to sort of say, that was his win rate, but anyone's win rate could be bad. If Brendan Rodgers took over, I don't know, for argument's sake, who's at the bottom of the table? Wolverhampton Wanderers. Would his win rate be sky high? And you would say that he's a great manager. You know, it all depends on what side you're with within a division. Al Ettifaq weren't a side that were competing for titles on a week-to-week basis, a year-to-year basis. They were a mid-table side when they came in. I think he had their highest finish anyway, with 6th or something like that. I don't see the comparison. I think we make the comparison when he comes back to Rangers. Sarah Connor, I know the jury's still out. Appointing Gerrard again is like hiring your ex who cheated and thinking he's changed. Spoiler, he hasn't. Well, then you just got to be a little bit emotionally detached. He's realised, I suppose, that the grass isn't greener on the other side, which is fair. But will he be as quick to jump to a Premier League job next time? I don't think so. I think he will probably stay here if he's successful here. If he has a run that he had, of course, before, I think he'll be looking to sort of sit on it. And realise that actually he was in exile in Saudi a little bit. He ended up going, get sacked from the Premier League and wasn't really given an opportunity. So if he's successful at Rangers, he might go, you know what, I'm going to sit on this for a little bit. And then maybe, he might not stay forever. No one's expecting him to stay forever. But we're in a club as well. We're in a business where we want to get back to winning trophies. If he could stay for 3 or 4 years and win us a few trophies and raise the standards up again, then we have a second chance at it. And then we can sort of progress as a football club. But if he gets us trophies along the way and then moves on to pastures new, great. I don't need him to stay. He doesn't have to be a Walter Smith. He doesn't need to stay for, donkey's years. He doesn't need to stay for the rest of time. I'm not asking him for that. I'm not asking him to do a Sir Alex Ferguson stint. Just, win a few trophies. Get us back to where he left us. People are making out he's not even already done the job. He's done the job before. He's already done it. He's won us a title. Invincible. He raised the standards. He beat Celtic. He had the number. Every Celtic team, under 3 managers, he had them beaten all of the time. Brendan, Neil Lennon, Ange Postecoglou. Had the number every single time. Celtic couldn't beat us. Even when we were playing bad, we were still winning against them. So fuck it. They're saying they want him to be a part of the new dynasty. Kevin says he'll probably be here till Christmas. He'll be here longer than Christmas, mate. Let's be perfectly honest here. He ain't gonna be gone before Christmas. He's gonna get given time. You'll see something with Gerrard, I promise you. If Gerrard's appointed, you'll see progression. You will see progression. John says it will take time, but Gerrard will turn this around, and you won't see passing for the sake of passing. You will see strategy and tactics. Blue Meanie says Villa were a top 6 league team at the time he left the board. Couldn't match his ambition. Would you not take what you thought he was forward, career step forward? He learned, listen to him, it's clear. Mate, there's a guy, I don't think you should doubt Steven Gerrard as a person. I think it's sometimes about the mentality of a human being, the person. People make mistakes with things. You're not going to get it right, plain sailing, constantly in every job you take. But I think he's been successful at Rangers, but he's also self-reflected on what works for him, what doesn't work for him. So what, he's had a bad blimp. Didn't Brendan Rodgers get Leicester relegated? I mean, there's everything for you to see. Brendan Rodgers got Leicester City relegated, but he still came back to Celtic and was good. So I don't know this sort of argument. It's Scottish football, for God's sake. You don't have to be the fucking prim proper top of the world to do it. And he's proved that he can do it before, so I don't mind. Gerrard coming in will galvanise the team. Terriers have been jumping on all day. Yes, he will. He will. He'll galvanise the support as well. Can you imagine that first day back? The return. Amazing appointment. I'm for it now. I'm already in it. So I'm pretty happy. I'm going for it. I'm buzzing for it. Why do the English not support their local club? Same goes for the Northern Gumps. I don't know, mate, to be honest with you. I think with football, mate, is you either support your team that your family supports, your old man supports, or anything like that, or your sort of local team. I have Scottish connections, so that's why I support Rangers. Wouldn't it be easier for me to support Chelsea? Would it not be easier for me to support Arsenal? Would it not be easier for me to support Spurs? Nah, actually not Spurs. That'd be a fucking death sentence. You are not Scottish. Okay, Michael. You can say whatever you want, buddy. I don't mind. You can call me Scottish. You can call me not Scottish. It's up to you. I mean, I wasn't born in Scotland. I haven't got a Scottish accent, but all my family is Scottish, so I don't know. It depends what my heritage is from. It's the age-old question. You can call me English. You can call me British. Whatever. Scottish. Whatever. I don't mind. It's up to you. It's up to you, Michael. You can decide. If all my family is Scottish and I'm born in England, am I English or Scottish? I mean, it's a good debate. I've always teetered on it my whole life. What am I? Scottish or English? If all my family is Scottish, every single person in my family is Scottish. Mum's side, dad's side, Scottish. But I was born in England. I lived in England, albeit as well. What am I? English or Scottish? I've been confused about that my whole life as well. I see some people say Scottish or English. I don't know. Gerrard without a position at the club yet. Has United fans more in the 2 days than Russell ever did in full time here? AP says, Dan, you forgot we were shouting for his head before COVID year. Had one season where Celtic was at its worst. Well, because, mate, that's the thing. So, yeah, I mean, everything you look back in hindsight, but then he added new signings and then he did go on to it. It's like, well, we were doing this, we were doing that, we were doing this. But yeah, he got to the summer, made some really, really good transfers, and took us to a title. So I mean, you can look back in sort of hindsight and say we were here, we were there. I mean, I suppose, but yeah. Is he bringing Bill in to help him? I don't know. That would be an interesting one. It would be an interesting one, man. But guys, anyway, that's it for this one. Latest on Steven Gerrard is that second round talks are happening. Some sources saying a deal has all but been agreed. Others are saying, well, they're still interviewing other candidates. But again, you're looking at it right now. Steven Gerrard certainly looks like the prime candidate, and it looks like talks are very much progressing, and he will be returning back to the football club. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.